In this tutorial, I'm going to demo how to set up a newly released block template called the menu list card. So basically, it's a card system that allows you to create a menu like templates or UI in your BuddyBoss app. So in this case, you can see here, we've got this style here, this template here that displays a grid of different posts in the BuddyBoss app. You can use this to showcase posts. You can use this to showcase content. You can use this to build a menu for your BuddyBoss app right in the app page. Now, let me quickly jump into the backend and show you how this works. So right here, you can see that we have a new template here called the menu list template. So this is actually under our custom post block templates. So you have to actually use a custom post block in order for you to be able to access this new template system. Now, why did we choose to add it to the custom post block? Because the custom post block allows that you can actually use any plugin to create a unique sort of content template in your BuddyBoss app. In this case, something like ACF, right? So if you look here, this is a card. There is no post in WordPress that looks like this, right? So you would have to actually create a post type that has these fields, 3 image fields, the post title, and then 1 subtitle. So what you can do is you can use ACF to create that and then map that ACF to the custom post block. But you don't have to go through all that process. Now, if you have Blockli AI installed on your WordPress website, Blockli AI brings along with it something called composable cards. So right here, we've got this post type called Blockli composable cards. What are Blockli composable cards? Blockli composable cards allows you to sort of have the flexibility to create a post type that can have different types of fields, custom fields associated with it. Now, in contrast to what we originally have under Blockli, which is when you go to Blockli, you have Blockli graphic cards, video cards, postcards, and featured cards, right? Now, these are custom post types that allow you to actually create content that will be rendered in the BuddyBoss app using any of these React Native templates. So what you're seeing right here is a React Native template, but each of the fields in this template are mapping to specific fields in this post type called featured cards, right? So if you select, for example, style 3, you can see that the number of fields that you have here changes. Why? Because they are pre-mapped, pre-selected. You really can, you just have to work with what we give to you. But composable card brings a new level of flexibility where you could actually create your own posts and define the custom fields that will be associated with that post. So in this case here, let's say I want to create a new composable card and I jump in here. Now, out of the box, the Blockli composable card, when you're creating a new post, there's nothing here. It's only the post title and the deep link URL, because these are the required fields for the cards to work in the app. But now you have the liberty to create your own fields that you would want for any particular post to have in your in the card. So how to do that is this. This is like ACF, but like a pared down version of ACF that just goes straight to the point. Basically, what we want is a custom field that we can use to across multiple posts as we begin to create posts. So you can come here and add fields. So you can add a text field, a text area field, number, image, and URL fields. So I can come here and add and say I want to add something like a subtitle, right? And then I'm gonna select text, right? Now, based on the design that we have right here, what I really need is there are 4 custom fields on this card. There is 3 image fields, which is this earphone icon here, which is an image, and these 2 profile images here, and then this text that says 1 new. These are custom fields. Right now, they don't exist, right? They do not exist. So I will have to create them. So in this case, I would call the first one maybe my text 1, I like to use, because you can reuse these fields across multiple posts, right? So I can just, call this my text one, and then select that as a text field, and then just hit add field. And then I would also do my image fields. There are 3 image fields there. So I'll say image 1, and I'll select image, and then I'll keep adding that until I have those 4 different custom fields that are associated with this post. But because I've already created that, that's why I'm not creating that right now. So if we go back to all Blockli components, composable cards, you will see I already have my own post created here. So if you open this devotional here, you can see that right here, I have a field called text 1, text 2, image 1, image 2, text 2, BG color, and icon. Now this same field is being reused across every post that I create. So if I go to listen right here, which is another post, I'll come here. You can see that the same fields are used here. Text 1, this, that. So if you create a field, you can reuse it across multiple, posts. So basically, you don't even have to have so many fields. You just want to know exactly like, what you're doing, and then you can create as many fields as you need, right? So in this case, I've got here. Now, how did I add these fields here? When you're creating a post, so let's say I'm adding a new composable card here. Now, since I've already created all those fields, the next time I'm going to create a post, what I'll just do is I'll just reuse the fields that I have already created. So in this case, we're going to reuse image 1, text 1, and then we're going to reuse image 1 here, and 2, and then the last one there was background color, which I'll explain later on. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's basically what I have here. Oh, there's an icon, right? So we're just gonna jump here, and then we're gonna, I already created an icon, which is actually an image field that I have here, right? So I've got that there, and then I'll just put the post title, and then so in this case, I'll call that post title. And then in this case here, I'll, name this anything. I'll call this, so please understand the difference. What is happening here? This is a custom field, but this is where you're using that custom field to create a post. In this case, we're creating a post called post 1. Let's just, so that we don't confuse this. So we can just, let's just call this devotional here. And then for this devotional, I would say something like, yeah, I think subtitle is fine, just so that I don't have to think. All right, so you could just add anything you want, and then you can add images. So in this case here, I'm gonna add an image here, and I would image 1, which is the, so I'll just say, for example, I select that as my image 1, and then I'll do my image 2 for this particular post. And then for my icon, I will upload any icon of my choice. And then for the background color, which I will explain later, I wouldn't do that now. So actually, just to make this make sense, so I can say latest podcast, right? So I can just say my latest podcast here, and then I can say one. I can say, I'll just call that one new right now, right? So, and then once I'm done here, now you need to put the deep link URL, right? So select where this thing is gonna go to. It could be anything. It could be a page. It could be an app page. If you want to go to an app page, just copy the link to that app page, and then put it in there. So let's just take this here. Just gonna go in here, and then so for this color, if you look right here, so let's get back in here. Now you can see that each of these cards have a different color, right? So you would have to add the color directly to each card itself. So in this case, let me say this color here is orange, and then I'm going to add it to a group called menu item. So you can always, of course, if in the Blockli system, we use card groups or categories to group the posts that we're going to display in each instance of a block, right? So because when you add the composable card block in the app page, it's going to pick up all of the composable cards that are actually on your site. But you want to now sort of categorize them. That way you can filter in the app page by category. So I'll select here and I will go ahead and publish this. Now, once this is published, if I go to the app page right now, you're going to see that this composable card that I've added here to this app page, I have actually selected the menu item. So meaning that it will only list the posts that I have added to this particular category, right? And then I don't even want to show this menu list. So I'm just going to remove that because it's a menu. And then I'm going to check to hide the see all, right? Because I don't want this see all to show up, and I'm just going to hide that. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now, once that is saved, if you come back here and then we refresh this app page, do you see we've got that thing? It says latest, right? It's of course latest podcast or whatever the case might be. And then it says one new, and then you see that icon that we added there. And when I click on this, it takes me to that particular post that I have actually linked to. So you can basically use this to, link to different contents in your app without any restriction at all. So now with that in place, the other thing I want to show you is this blue background right here is customizable. So right now it's actually an image. So if you go to go back to the app page and then you look at the image, the settings of the blog, you're going to see here we've added a new field called card background image, right? So in this card background image right here, you're going to have what we call, you can put an image here. So in this case, I have just added an image here. Now, if I remove that image URL, it's going to default to the block background color. So in this case, the block background color is blue. So let me just set it to maybe something like pink so that you can see that in demo. So right here, we're going to save that, and then we're going to go back here. And if we refresh this app page now, you see, it's using that color, right? So you can either use a color or you can use an image for the background of this menu that you have right here. Now, the last part of this is after you have created all of your, cards and, done the fields, you need to go to the custom post block mapping. So go to custom post blocks right here, Blockli Custom Post Block. Now, make sure that composable card is enabled. And of course, make sure that you install Blockli AI, because that's the only way you're going to get that composable card. Otherwise, you would have to use ACF. Now, in this case, I have composable cards enabled, and I'm going to go to map custom fields, and then I go to that composable card and I'll select that menu list item. Now, selecting that menu list item, you can now see this template has been mapped in the code in the app to block field 1, 2, image field 1, 2, 3, right? Now, you can't change those, but what you can change is actually the actual content that you're mapping into those hard-coded fields. So think of these things here as placeholders that you can put anything into it. So in this case, you can put the text. So in my case here, remember that here where it says devotional, this right here is actually the post title. So it doesn't need mapping. That already comes from the post. But the one new, we're mapping that to block field 1. In this case, I'm using text 1. And then for the background color, we're mapping, that is mapped to block field 2. So you want to map whatever field you created, whether you call it background color, whatever you named it, map it to block field 2. And then for your images, so for this icon here on the left, you are going to map that to whatever. You might have named it icon, you might have named it text, whatever it is, right? So you map it to that one. And then these two images here, you're mapping them to image 1 and 2. Now, the cool thing is, you don't have to, like, when you're creating a post, so if we go back here, you can see that this one that says give doesn't have these images, neither does it have the icons, right? It only just has the title and the subtitle right there. That's because if you look at the post itself, so let's go in here, see, these fields are empty. So any field that is empty will not be shown in that card. It will hide it in the card. So this allows you the flexibility to be creative with whatever it is that you're doing, right? So in this case, let's say, for example, I want to use this to highlight a group that has a recent activity, right? So in this case now, you can use something like Automator WP or Uncanny Automator to set up a trigger that listens for when a something like a post or an activity post is created in a group. You can use that as a trigger, and then you use Automator WP or Uncanny Automator to now create a new post, and you select the composable card as the post type, and then map your tokens to the fields. So of course that's a different tutorial on its own, but then you can also create say for example you want to highlight blog post or any content. It could be anything you want to direct people to, right? And the cool thing with this is that the links can go anywhere. So they can go to in-app, like native app pages. They can go to external links. They can go to this is Google. You can go to external links, so you can use these to pretty much direct people to different parts of your app. And the more cards that you add to the category that you have sort of like filtered in this particular instance of the composable block right here, they will just keep adding. So right now I have 6, right? If I add, I have 5. If I add 6, it keeps growing, right? So 6, 7, 8. So you figure out what you want and how you want to use that. So that's how this menu item works. So I hope you guys are gonna find this useful, and let me know what you all think in the comments below. And please, we're always looking forward to feedback and ideas and what you guys want us to build into the BuddyBoss app. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out here with me, and I'll see you in the next video.